Friends, yesterday I saw a parody video on Sadhguru, and there he says that Sadhguru never answers a question straight. He always goes to something, some story, and he always expands it, and he comes back maybe later, much later only, then he answers the question. So that is a parody. But there is a serious answer. I enjoyed that parody also. I enjoy humor a lot, even if it is on, even if you make humor on Vivekananda or anybody whom I like also, I would enjoy if the humor is proper. I mean, if the humor is right, there is some truth in it. And there is definitely truth in what Sadhguru does. And actually, I also do the same thing. Most students of mine ask me this question. I mean, many other people also ask me this question. I mean, not so many times, but I remember such questions because it is a feedback for me. Now, I'll tell you the reason why I see this question also. I did not answer much, very briefly, I think. The reason is, first thing is, the world is not so, if you have to understand this world, the world is not so simple as you expect it would be. If answers are simple, which means your questions also must be simple. If you have to expect a simple answer, the question must be simple. So for you, the question is simple because you don't know about it. But you are asking us, which means you are already thinking that we know the answer. When we know the answer, we would see your question also with that knowledge, with the knowledge of that answer. We know the answer, you don't know the answer, which means we know more than you. Therefore, with whatever limited knowledge you have, which is limited, right? Relatively limited to what we have. And that is why you are asking a question, actually, to us. Because you yourself believe that I know more than you. If the question is sincere, not a rhetoric thing. Then what happens is, with your limited knowledge, you do not know what other things are omitted from your sphere, right? But we can see what is omitted. So it is not just that question's answer that is missing in your mind, but behind that background, as a background and as a context, you are missing a lot of context also. So first thing is add the context. Number two, we also correct the question if the question itself is wrong, because so many people do not know how to question also properly. They have an idea behind the question. We catch the idea behind the question, and then we try to correct the question also. And the third thing is, the premise of the question would be wrong most of the times. Most of the times, the premise of the question itself are wrong. Fourth, if the intent is not really that pure, then the question is loaded question. So with the loaded questions, what happens is we have to correct all that load also. We have to take a burden and then add a question. So another point is, if the question is not so sincere, or the questioner is not so pure in the inquiry, what happens is they are trying to get a gotcha moment. See, I got you, I caught you. So whether there are any trick questions or not, we have to see that also. Apart from doing all these things, while answering, we have to see who else is there. It's not just the questioner, right? So most of the times question comes in public, and then which means there are hundreds of people, dozens of people there in the room at least. Therefore, we have to think how to hit the common ground and benefit all the people, more people. This person, whoever is questioning, we think that he is representing the whole lot there. So that has to be addressed. And we address the psychology behind the questioning, or we try to assess in the evolution process where that person is and from where that person is coming. So that location also, we try to go to that location. From wherever location we are, whichever height we are, we try to go down to that location and meet the questioner there, and then try to coax the questioner to move forward and higher up, right? So this is our job, and questions are only triggers for what we want to say, we want to give to the world. And if you don't want to receive anything from us except for that particular question and that maybe one line answer or one reason. See, if you ask, the other point is, it's not just the answer. When somebody asks a question, why you have done it, if I give one reason, that doesn't mean that is the only reason. That is the first reason I can think of my mind. So on top of my mind, whatever comes, I just give the answer first. And then you take that answer and then you try to dissect it and you try to say that that answer is wrong because this is it. But there are follow up reasons that are coming up, like more reasons are coming. So there can be multiple reasons why, for example, Russia and Ukraine are at war. There are multiple reasons. It is not just one reason. So don't be so simple and naive to think that there can be only one reason for anything that is done in this whole world. So there will be several reasons. So all the multiple reasons have to be seen. And most important reasons may not come first when we answer. Not always, right? We try to do that, but not always. Therefore, and also, if there are 5 reasons, one reason may be most important for you. For you, the other reason may be more important. It all depends on wherever we are. Therefore, what really happens while this dialogue happens is a exchange of views, comparing notes. We are all, as conscious units, we are all living in this world, and we are trying to understand how we are living and with what background and with what psyche we are approaching life, and we are trying to learn from each other. If that is the idea behind talking and questioning and getting an answer, that would help everybody. So whichever is mutually satisfactory and mutually beneficial, we will keep doing that. Thank you. This is the reason why we cannot answer in a very short form. Like, it's not a rapid question fire round, right? That could be like, for example, what color do you like? All such questions. I don't like any particular color. All colors are equally there in this world. So, and also colors depend on, I mean, their beauty has depending on the context, colors value changes. So I cannot answer even such a simple question straight. But in general, when you see with celebs, etc., in rapid fire interviews, they can answer many questions very easily, very swiftly. That is because of it depends on the limits of your knowledge. That's all. The more knowledgeable person you are approaching, the more likely that the answer would be longer. We would like to help you, but we can't help certain things. We can't help. We cannot change facts, right? We do not want to change facts. We know too well that we cannot change facts. We should not change. We should not even try to change facts. So to place these facts in a presentable fashion, believe us, we are trying to do a lot to tailor it to your needs and make it as palatable to you and as pleasant to you as possible. But that may not be enough for you, enough pleasant, enough sweet for you. But you also have to do the effort of trying to look at what is truth or not, whether something is true or not, instead of thinking about how it is presented. Thank you.